Hi everyone, my name's Patrick Fingler, and in this tech tip video I'm going to show you how you can create custom mobile map areas inside of Geocortex Mobile using Geocortex Workflow. Let's dive in. Alright, so here you can see I'm using Geocortex Mobile, and here I've got the map areas panel open, and there's a variety of different ways you can create map areas, which are essentially areas that you can download your data so that you can use it offline in a disconnected environment. So what we see here is, here you can see there's a couple of pre-populated map areas in the listing here, and these can be administrator defined. So on the underlying web map, or within the settings for the underlying web map that you're using in Geocortex Mobile, inside of ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Enterprise, you can create what are called administrator defined map areas, which could be like the top 5 or 10 most common areas that your field workers need to navigate to. Additionally, as an end user using the application, I can click this Add Area button. This will open up this Create Area tool, and I can create a custom map area within a given extent that I want to navigate to. Now, what's really nice is there's essentially commands that fire all of these different operations for creating a map area, downloading, activating the map area, and so on, and those can be leveraged using Geocortex Workflow. So actually outside of the out-of-the-box tool, here I've got, from the I Want To menu, I've got this workflow that allows me to manage my map areas. Now this is a very simple workflow, but you could have a workflow, for example, that gets the current logged in user, gets their username, and then creates a map area for all of the work orders that they've been assigned, and creates a very custom specific geographic extent and downloads that data. And so here I'll show you how you can accomplish that. So within this workflow, I've got 4 different options. One is to create a map area. This will just open up the out-of-the-box option. Another one is just through workflow to create or add a map area. One is using workflow is updating a map area as well. And then also I'll be showing you how you can delete map areas using workflow as well. So if I click this create option and just click submit, here it's just going to immediately navigate us to this option here to create an area. So let's look at the workflow to see how this works. So this is the back-end workflow that I've configured. Here you can see this is our display form, which has the options that whether the user wants to create, add, update, or delete. And then they've also got an option to click submit, which will then proceed or cancel. So again, if we continue, we can see if the result is submit, we'll continue, otherwise we'll exit. And then this is essentially doing some branching logic depending on the radio button option that they selected. So if they click create, for example, here you can see there's this run command activity, and this is where we can run specific Geocortex Mobile commands. So there's this command called offline.display-create area. And this accepts what's called a map extension. So if we actually navigate to our Developer Center and go to Geocortex Mobile and select API and go to Commands, and let me just, again, it's offline display create area. So if we just search for, display create area, you can see here there's this command, and then this is the argument, which is a map extension. So how you actually get this map extension using Geocortex Workflow is here. If we go into the setup, I'm using the get map activity, and then this allows me to, I'm just creating a variable or a value called map extension, but you could just supply this as well. So it's just it equals map .map ext, and that will give you the map extension. Additionally, while we're here, there's another activity, another command that allows you to get all of the offline areas. So the list of the offline areas. So if we were to cancel this, it'll show you which offline areas you have available, and that's offline.getAreas, and this would also accept this map extension property. So let's go back and here you can see, so I'm just simply running a command here, this offline.display create area, and this is going to take us to, again, if I was to rerun that and click submit, it's just going to take us to this option. The next method is you might want to create a map area on your own using Workflow. So here I'm going to select this add option and click submit. And here you can actually see if we navigate to the map areas tab, I've created a map area. I've just called it an arbitrary name. I've called it created_area in my workflow. And it's now downloading that map area. I'm essentially getting the current extent, and then I'm just creating a map area with that current extent. And then it's going to then activate it as well. So while that's downloading, and the next time we come back to here, you'll see it's been activated. Let's go back to the workflow again. You can see here when we select the add option, there's this operation used to essentially create that area. So it's offline.createArea, and these are the parameters that I'm using. So here, this is the title. I've supplied this. It's essentially a variable name, but you could also just type in, created area if you wanted to. And then there's this area details property where here I'm specifying the area of interest, which is my current extent. You can define the minimum and the maximum scale, whether you want to include attachments. And if you also have some offline tile packages that you want to include, you can supply the name of those tile packages as well. You can also optionally remove this option, and then it would just take the base map of the current from the current web map. And then lastly here, it does require a map extension. So here I've got a map extension. So this is going to create that area. And then here I'm going to then download that area. So this will actually, the output of this operation will create an area, and we can supply that to this option. So here my offline area input is this create area dot result, which is the output of this activity. And then lastly here, I've got this activate area operation as well, which is the same inputs as the download area option. So it will again accept that create area property and object, and then it'll activate it. So if we again go back to Geocortex Mobile, you can see now it's been activated, and I've created an offline area with my current extent. So the next step is you might want to then update that. So if we go to update and click submit, you'll see here if we go to my map areas tab, you can see now we're through workflow forcing the update option to persist. So you could theoretically have a workflow that runs every minute, and it updates the activity to if you have internet connectivity. And here you can see it was created at 9:51 and updated at 9:54. So how that option works is, again, if we go back to our workflow here, we can see we're now actually looping over all of the offline areas. So we're using that that command that operation to get all the offline areas. This is going to give us a list of all of the areas, and then we're going to loop through those. And then we're going to say, here I'm just saying if the title of that offline area matches the one that I provided it with, which is created_area, then I want to update it. You could alternatively also try to update all of your map areas if you wanted to. And here there's this operation, offline.update-area. And because we're looping over each area, I'm just going to provide it with the item that we're looping over. So that's essentially the process that you can use for updating your map areas. And again, we can click OK. And it's essentially that same process for deleting map areas as well. There's a delete operation, and you'd be doing that same underlying process. So let's navigate back here. You can see again that was updated. And let's, just to show you that you can also delete it, let's go to Manage Map Areas and click Delete and click Submit. There we can see it's now been deleted. So yeah, that's essentially how you can work with custom map areas using Geocortex Workflow. Again, I'd highly recommend to check out our Developer Center and these specific commands and operations, as they'll be very helpful as you start working with creating custom map areas using Geocortex Workflow. Bye for now.